I'm having a ton of fun running tests on the Rodecaster video so far. Now, I'm on a mission to eventually replace my Rodecaster Pro 2 and my ATEM Mini Pro ISO with this one small-sized device. And there's one piece of functionality that I'm particularly interested in, and that is auto switching. So last week, I did my first auto switching test. I posted the video, and if you watch the video, you know that I wasn't very impressed with the results. Well, Rode left a comment in that video, and this is exactly what they said. And basically what they're saying is that the algorithm that's applied to auto switching is more creative in nature. Now, I was under the assumption that if I mapped a microphone to a camera, that anytime audio was detected on that microphone, then it would automatically switch to that camera angle. Well, that's not how it works, as you can see from the comment that Rode did share with me. So today in a live client recording, I applied the settings that Rode did recommend. Now, I am going to share about 5 minutes of that recording with you all, just so that you can see exactly how the algorithm is intended to be used. If you go right here, you can fast forward through the part where I'm going to give my opinion about this application, let you know if it's something that's usable for me or how I might be able to use it. And I also have some tips for you. So go ahead and watch this video. You'll see what the auto switching functionality looks like using the settings that Rode shared with me, and then we'll circle back.
Now that I'm a burner, because I've actually gone.
I would say that. I mean, just now I know you.
Yeah.
But
you wouldn't
I
think.
didn't know you had tattoos.
Right. Right. Exactly. You're like, well, that threw me off. So the opportunity presented itself, and I try to be a yes kind of girl, right? Like, sure, yeah, let's go. And, so they even interviewed us to make sure that like me and my husband would be a good fit for the camp, which I really appreciate, because they're like, it doesn't always work for everybody.
Yeah.
And so we don't want to mess up everybody's vibe. So like, let's get to know you. And he was willing to go, even though he was like, oh, okay. I mean, I'll drive you there. Like, well, it's 7 days. So he's like, all right, well, let's get a trailer. And he wanted to be supportive of me, which I'm super grateful for. And it was absolutely one of the most incredible experiences I've ever had in my life, because 60,000 plus people show up and create a community in a place where it's super inhospitable. Nothing grows there. There's no trees. There's no
It's a dry lake bed.
It's a dry lake bed, and nothing is there. Literally nothing. And yet this beautiful community with shared values gets constructed out of the dirt, and people's creativity in their ability to commune with each other, and the art and the music. And it's just such a vibe. It was so amazing. It was so beautiful to I wrote something about my soul really got, I really got to, God, I can't think of how I framed it, but I mean, I really got to shed the layers and just be present. The sense of immediacy that in the real world, of course, I want to be present. I'm driving, I'm working, I'm present in that space, but shedding away, releasing all of the labels and job titles and all the things, and literally just riding your bike around and stopping to play or I love swings.
Yeah.
So we just pull over. We knew, my group knew, if I saw a swing, I was pulling over. I'm going to swing on that swing. It was so beautiful to just watch humans be in community with each other in a place that got constructed this way, right? Like it got put together this way. It was so magical.
I'm so glad you got to do that.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got to be present and play.
Yes, I just got to play. So that was really fun. And funny thing, I thought I was going to have time to write my book there. Well, I thought I'll have some downtime, and I'll have time, and I'll have access to the Starlink, and I'll be able to get online. And then I didn't realize the Starlink's on and off because of the power, right? It's running off of a generator, and so it's not always on. And then I started to have oh my gosh, I don't have access right now. And then I had to just let it go. And so even I got to go deeper in the sense of being present, because I didn't get to write that week. I wrote a couple of notes in my phone on things that were coming up for me. But outside of that, it was really just such a fun, magical experience. And honestly, I can't wait to go back next year because I'm going back at least one more year.
Okay.
Because now I know what to expect.
That's right.
My outfits need to get a little cooler this time, too. It was so awesome.
That's so great. I'm so glad you got to do that.
Yeah.
There's always another layer.
Yeah. Yeah. And I wore with pride the hat that you so generously and beautifully gave me, which said, it is actually my first rodeo.
It is.
And I wore it a lot of places and people are like, oh, I get it. Right. So I said, and I can't wait to come back next year and all, like my daughter was talking about coming or whatever. I'm like, I'm going to give it to somebody else to wear as their first rodeo. So this might become my tradition.
I love it.
Of sharing it. But anyways, it was so fun.
I love it.
Yeah.
Actually, this is all of our first rodeo in life.
Well,
that we remember.
True, that we remember.
So we're all just doing the best that we can do.
We're all just doing the best. So, but thanks for being excited for me about Burning Man. That was super fun that, people, I wasn't really telling anybody because I thought they'd think, why?
Yeah.
Or you, all the whatever judgment that might come with it. But Thank you for being so excited about it. It was super fun to share it with people who were like, oh my gosh, how's it going?
I am all for transformational experiences.
Yeah.
You and I think hearing you talk, I believe now more than ever, we're very similarly wired.
Mm-hmm.
And so I love throwing myself into unexpected situations and figuring it out.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, Jimmy, if you're watching this, someday we'll go.
Yep.
Because I would love to just go for the experience of it and be present. Be present. What a lesson for all of us is what can we do to be more present?
Yeah.
First of all, a couple of things that you should know. I did record everything externally to an SSD. I cannot stress this enough about this device. If you start recording on your external SSD, so the way that you know that your external SSD is connected is this light will be green. And you also see that you have a connection that's green. It's good to go. If you record, then everything is recording to that external SSD. If you just pull this cable out at the end of your recording, you're going to lose all your files. So be sure that you hit the record button again. This should be green. Now what Rode is doing is it's writing all those files to the device, and now you can unplug that cable. I learned this the hard way. I'm hoping that Rode fixed this. The other thing that you should be aware of is that if you have auto switching functionality turned on, that means that you hold down this auto button and it's going to turn blue. That means that auto switching functionality is turned on. If you are live streaming or if you're recording and you manually want to make a switch to a new camera, this is going to turn off. It's going to disable. So you actually have to re-enable it if you want to pick up where you left off. Now, there's freedom for you to choose what you'd like to do. It would be nice if Rode just kept this on. That way you can just automatically switch and you don't have to re-enable it. Maybe they can do a toggle off and on so that you don't have to continue to turn auto switching back on if you decide to manually switch your camera angles. So those are two things that do stand out when it comes to auto switching. Now, the video that you watched was exactly what was recorded on this external SSD. Now, my feeling is that the switching, even though I had the guest and the host both on high and then my wide angle on the lower priority setting, it still felt very sporadic to me. Now, it would be nice if Rode gave us some sort of control over this algorithm. So you could maybe turn the slider up if you want the algorithm to be stronger or more accurate, and maybe turning it down if you want to be more creative in your switching, something like that. Now, for me personally, I'm not going to be able to take advantage of auto switching the way it is now, but I think if I were live streaming and if I were by myself and I had my cameras set up in a way that still captured maybe the speakers and the audience and the stage or something like that, then I could use the auto switching exactly how it's set up now. But as far as doing interviews and things like that, I do think that there is a little more work to be done on Rode's part to, one, explain the algorithm a little bit more, how it works, and then also give us some more fine-tuned controls over that auto switching. So if we really do want to be as precise as audio goes into a microphone and now the camera switches, then we have the freedom to do that. So either way, that's the current status of auto switching. I'd be happy to hear your comments about how maybe you're using the functionality. And Rode, if you'd like to chime in, comments are always open. And if you have any other thoughts, let me know as well in the comments below. Before you head out, if you like this video, hit the thumbs up. And I plan on putting out more Rodecaster videos in the future. So be sure to subscribe if you like this type of content. Thanks as always for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.